Michael, more bad news, dude, as VR studio and one of the best VR studios, nDreams, is set to hit up with layoffs. About 17% of their staff. Never, ever seems to end, does it? Vicky Blake, gamesindustry.biz, tells us all about it. nDreams is set to lay off up to 17.5% of its staff. In a statement in gamesindustry.biz, CEO Patrick Luane said that despite exploring, quote, multiple alternatives to avoid such action, end quote, a new, quote, strategic focus could result in redundancies affecting up to 17.5% of the company, end quote. On LinkedIn, nDreams lists its headcount as between 201 and 500 employees. Anywhere between 35 and 88 jobs are at risk, all levels of the organization. Quote, today, all of our nDreams colleagues were informed of a renewed strategic focus that could result in redundancies affecting up to 17.5% of the company, end quote, Olune told the team in an earlier memo. Quote, having explored multiple alternatives to avoid such action over many months of challenging VR games market, situated within a tough gaming landscape more broadly, it's with deep regret that we are looking at losing valued and talented members of our teams. This could impact all levels, including senior leadership. We are working tirelessly to support our team with the respect and care they deserve throughout this challenging process, including all of our efforts to comprehensively assist those whose positions may be impacted to move into new roles within nDreams or elsewhere, end quote. The statement continued. Quote, having been fully focused on VR development since 2013, we have inevitably faced many challenges in building a modest independent studio into a world-leading VR game developer working to push both the technology and the market forward. These necessary considerations of losing valued team members are the most difficult yet, but our belief in XR gaming is undimmed. We firmly believe that our purpose, new structure, will enable us to better serve current and future audiences in creating medium-defining titles for years to come. For now, our priority is to support our people in this process as we look through reshaping for the future. End quote. The statement concludes. Dude, this sucks.
Yeah.
My question becomes, is VR dead?
Yeah, that's really kind of what I was thinking about when I saw this announcement, right? Like, yes, the game industry has had a very rough 2024, and I hope that it improves. But this one feels like a combination of that and the fact that I just don't think VR is at the point that a lot of people thought VR would be at, right? It's still sort of this exclusive club. There's not really easily affordable VR headsets, right? Like, I think MetaQuest and that is still in that $300-400 price range, which is still in that new console price range, right? So if you want to have a VR and you want to do that, or you want to get a PlayStation, or you want to get an Xbox. So yeah, I think VR, I think people thought it would be much better. I think people thought it would maybe be more immersive, right? It's still a little rough. There's still some of that motion sickness depending on who you are. So yeah, this to me is sort of a yes, the games industry is struggling, but also I just don't think VR is what we ever thought it was going to be. Maybe it just never reaches that height. I remember when it first came out, everyone's like, soon you're going to be able to hop in. It's going to look like the real world. You're going to be able to rock around. You won't notice the difference. Almost like a movie, right? Yeah. That hasn't quite got there. I think as soon as you said that, Drew, it just clicked to me. Yeah, I think VR is dying, and it wouldn't shock me if VR just kind of dries up and we realize that was fun, but we maybe overhyped that one by just a little bit.
Well, you take a look at the console race, right? Xbox never even touched it.
Yep.
PlayStation did it twice and haven't touched the PSVR 2 in 6 months, if not further. So nDreams, one of, like, as I said, one of the top developers in the world of VR. Their games are absolutely incredible. I've loved a lot of their games. I played a lot of their VR games. I don't play VR anymore. Dude, the motion sickness is just killer. I'd rather just sit on my couch or sit in front of my PC and game. Sit there, relax, right? Put my feet up, chill out. When I'm in VR, I don't know what it is. I have this urge where I need to stand. I don't sit. I stand up. And then if you ever play Beat Saber, like most of us have, if you have a VR headset, it's one of the go-to games. But at the end of the day, is it enough? Like, it is, man, I played some wild games. I played some incredible games that you can only experience in VR, but it's not for everybody. Dude, this big clunky thing that sits on your head, it's uncomfortable after a while, right? I just don't want to deal with it. Now, some people have gone all in on VR. This is what they focus on. nDreams being one of those studios. And I wonder if they maybe change up the formula and they start to see them branch out, Michael. Is that one of their saving graces? Maybe you are a game developer. You have the capabilities within you to go to PlayStation, to go to Xbox and say, hey, we have this idea. We're moving out of VR, right? We're going to make something else instead. We're going to go in this direction for the console market, the PC market that doesn't involve VR. Maybe they go hybrid and they bring it in both directions, right? Again, I don't know. If you've ever played Moss 1 and Moss 2 are incredible games, right? But they're VR. But they're a puzzle game, platforming game that could easily be ported over, or not easily, because there's nothing easy about porting. But there's an opportunity you could have brought those just like Astrobot. You saw Astrobot, right? Go Astrobot Playroom. It was a VR experience. Now the latest Astrobot, no VR in sight, and it's one of the biggest hits this year. Is that what nDreams needs to do? Save your company, move into a different market altogether, and get away from VR.